for the most exciting, innovative breakers in the business. TopShelfBreaks.com, the only place on the planet for live group breaks of McFarlane Sports Pack figures. Embrace the chase. And of course, all your favorite products. Football, basketball, baseball, play ball, hockey, and UFC. So, are you ready? Get your PayPal, text message, and tweet your friends because we are live from Top Shelf Breaks headquarters. Let's break.
Yo, everybody, what's up? Welcome to TSB Live Thursday night. Big night tonight. Lots of breaks lined up, as usual. But I got a special guest tonight. Live from Dallas. Tracy Hackler from Panini. What's up, my man?
Chris, what's happening, man? Good to be on. Thank you for having me on. And
yeah,
a big shout out to you. And first and foremost, hope you and all your media family, your TSB family, are healthy and sane.
Yeah.
And yeah. So anyway,
thank you. We're healthy and we're sane. We're good. So thanks for taking the time. I mean, I would say your time lately for all of us in the past 6 weeks has been, it seems like there's more time, but I'm positive you guys are extra busy, if that makes any sense, right? Trying to figure this out. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it's been hectic, and I think the time is still devoted, right? But you never know if it could be Monday, it could be Sunday, it could be Saturday. They all the days kind of blend together. But at Panini America, we've done as much as we can to kind of keep clicking where we can. Obviously, work from home for most of the country has been a challenge. One of many challenges involved with having this global pandemic. But I stay positive, and we're the guys and gals in the office who are working from home that can make strides on products and things are doing that. That's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot to do, even if it's from our living room or from our office at home or whatever.
So my question would be, what was it like, 6 weeks ago or so? We've been gone through this. You work from home, so you wake up each day. Is business as pretty much usual for those that are still working, or is it sporadic and you just kind of check in with each other? Are you doing a literally 9-to-5 day, or what are your days like when you started moving to working remotely?
I think we've always been, first of all, working from home has never been easier to do. Mm-hmm. I think that's one thing that this whole situation has kind of underscored is we're still locked in. We have weekly meetings. My boss, Jason Howarth, our VP of Marketing, Scott Prusha, Gina on our marketing team. We have weekly meetings. We stay in touch through text, through Zoom, through email still. That really hasn't changed. And we had this thing called the 2020 NFL Draft that we had to kind of finish preparing for in the weeks prior. And then all last week was kind of all hands on deck for that. And so, I think it's been just as hectic and just as productive as it was before we started this work from home system.
Yeah, good. I mean, the draft, we were going to talk about that. I talked to you briefly earlier today, but the draft, I think my personal opinion is they pulled it off really well with bringing everything together through the technology they were given, and still had that good excitement vibe. The guys that were talking about the players, all the scouts they had that. They were hitting all their marks. I had the great fortune and luxury to be able to have the draft here in 2016, and I went downtown to Chicago, and we set up and did breaks down there, so I got to see how it works. My question is, that's when you have a big NFL event, and there's probably veterans there and Hall of Famers and the rookies. Y'all gather everybody up in one spot for a few days and hit up all those autographs, all those products, all those items. What does Panini have in store, and how do you operate around that when you cannot be together with everybody at one of these big events?
Well, great question. I think one of the things that we miss the most by not having a draft in a draft town is we miss the interaction with the fans because it's such a big fan event. And we have an activation not just at the draft location backstage with these players, but also across the street, usually in the fan interaction zone. And that's a huge opportunity for us to to meet and talk to fans face to face that we really only get 4 or 5 times a year. So that we miss out on that. But I think, to your point, I think the NFL did a phenomenal job of pulling it off. I think you're going to see a lot of what they had to do this year be extended into future years, because it did add a nice element that not just the top 18 to 22 guys need to be kind of featured in the programming and on TV and on social. So I think you'll see a lot more of those remotes. We had a lot going on draft night with, I think we were part of like 15 different draft parties or draft events at players' houses. And we went Twitter live with a lot of those guys kind of immediately after they were picked. And then obviously the Panini Instant cards seem to be more popular, or have been more popular this year than in years past. So I think it was really well done, and I can't wait to see how some of the elements that were unveiled out of necessity are incorporated into future drafts.
Yeah, they did a great job with I did see some Panini product placement in the background. Some of the guys had their posters up and all that stuff. That was really neat to see. It just kind of reminded us that Panini is still there. Because you guys put a great event on anywhere we go. Last time we saw each other was here at the NBA weekend, downtown Chicago. Man, we were firing all cylinders. We were excited. It was midway through the season. The playoffs were getting ready to crank up. Man, we just had a blast with everybody. And so I've been to many of those events, and whether it be the National, which is where I'm leading to, because you know how much I love the National and embrace all of that and all the people and the fun. It doesn't sound as though there's been any official announcements regarding the National, but my question for you guys is, Panini is a big part of the National with your centerpiece booth and, of course, the party, the VIP party, which we all love. How are you handling planning for that? Is it all on hold? Are you going forward as if it's on, or are you going to wait to the last minute kind of, and gold, silver packs, all that stuff has got to be, you need time to put that all together, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm lucky enough to share an office with Scott Prussia, who works on all of those national packs and the events that we have surrounding the National. And I don't think anybody can afford to hold. I think we're moving forward as if it's going to happen, and keeping our fingers crossed. Obviously, it's a huge event for the entire industry. We embrace the National every year. We pull out all the stops at our booth with the VIP party that you mentioned. And it's another one of those crucial opportunities to interact really intimately with the people that keep us in business and keep me employed. So I really love that opportunity to just interact with those guys and gals. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and hope that no news is good news, and see where we end up.
I can't speak for them, but I do have seen some tweets that they've put out publicly that, if for some reason this doesn't make it, that they will have a contingency plan. I don't know if that'll be on a smaller scale, it'll be on a larger scale, or maybe later on in the year or early, another date. But I don't think anybody wants to see the National go away. We lost the big convention out on the West Coast. The Comic-Con was canceled. Yeah. And that's what makes me a little nervous, because that was 2 weeks prior to the National. So
true.
But that's a super huge event there. That's truly that's worldwide stuff.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting. I mean, there's so much that's still in flux over this whole thing, and we're a lot of, I think 30 some odd states are kind of relaxing or phase oneing the reopening their economies tomorrow. Yeah. And so if that goes well, who knows what the phase 2 looks like and how quickly it's unveiled. But
what's going on in Texas there? Because the next set of questions I want to get to is the new releases are a big part of probably your business, and Panini is you have to have the new releases. As a store owner, we have new releases. People come in and want to get the newest products. As a breaker, we have to break the newest products on release day. And thankfully, Prism Draft made the cut, and National Treasures was able to get out. But other than that, we don't have much. Do you have any updated information about release dates for Contenders Draft, I think it was, and some baseball Prism and some other odds and ends? What's the latest on production there in Texas?
So as you and most of your chatters and viewers know, our production facility was closed down with just about everything else in Texas. And so we weren't able to keep the presses running, but we were able to get, to your point, the Prism Draft Picks football, which was a great success for us. And then thanks to a lot of hard work from a lot of folks in the building and outside the building, we were able to get Mosaic Retail out, which I still haven't seen it, but it has been really successful at the retail side. So that's been exciting. Having said all that, our production facility will reopen tomorrow in a limited capacity.
Okay.
And if all goes well, there are some ship dates, obviously, that had to shift due to the pandemic. But I've got a tentative list of updated ship dates that obviously are subject to change depending on what happens with the pandemic and work from home and all that. But tentatively, Chronicles football, May 6th is the ship, new ship. Again, all these are tentative. Score football, May 27th. Mosaic Hobby basketball will be May 11th. Noir basketball, May 18th.
Wow.
And then Court Kings basketball, May 27th. And then, let's see, baseball select is May 13th. Diamond Kings is June 1st. Prism, June 8th. And then college, you mentioned Contenders Draft Picks. I was really looking forward to that one as well. That one will, the tentative new ship date for that's May 20.
Okay.
And then Chronicles Draft Picks football is tentatively June 15. And then I'll give you two more tentative new ship dates. Impeccable Soccer is June 1, and Chronicles Soccer is June 29th. Just please, the caveat is that those are tentative based on how things go with this thing called coronavirus. So but it's progress, and people are going to get back to it starting tomorrow in a limited capacity, and we'll see what happens from there. But it's better than where we were yesterday when nobody was doing anything. So
there's May dates in there, right? We're coming in. What month are we freaking in here nowadays? This is April, end of April.
May.
So May. So a few weeks out, potentially, tentatively.
Yes.
That's what they're aiming for.
Absolutely.
Oh, that will be a breath of fresh air for all of us.
We love new products as well, so we know that you guys do, and and I think this, however long this pandemic thing goes on, I mean, I think it's underscored again that people look at sports cards as a diversion from all the crap that goes on, and that's been really underscored throughout this process, just to see older products kind of becoming in vogue because there's no new products, and to see how Mosaic was received. I mean, I love Mosaic as a brand, but to see how successful it was kind of at the retail side. Prism Draft Picks, to your point, I think you have Hobby Hybrid, but we were able to get the hobby version out too, and they were just really well received. And
that's great. We're looking forward to the Mosaic hobby versions, and there's another version of Mosaic that'll come out. So if the retail versions were embraced as they are and people were rushing to retail to get those, pretty sure the hobby's going to be good too since it's delayed. There's some questions that people ask me at night and come up in topics, or you see them on the forums. I want to talk briefly about retail. I want to talk briefly about Target and Walmart's and the approach from manufacturers, which is plural, but mainly for you guys at Panini. You have certain products that come out and they're staggered release, sometimes the same week, that are gone to retail, and they're basically just little differences, little nuances right in retail. What percentage of your future business are you guys looking towards retail? Is there anything new that you want to do for retail? Do you want to scale back? Do you think, and coupled with live direct to the consumer on the website also? Because as a breaker, as a store owner, We're thinking in the back of our head, well, hey, maybe that could have been for us hobby shops. That could have been for us as our allocations that we worked so hard for all these years to get. And then it goes to the website, and you're kind of like, well, they're buying it there as well. And how do you? And final question: how do you keep everything in tandem with what the current market price is of a box versus what you're going to sell it for on the website? Because I would not want to be the person that has to figure that out. Do you know what I mean? Because then everyone that if you're, so what is that like when it comes to retail in the near future and long term?
Well, a lot of those questions, Chris, you're probably not surprised, are above my pay grade, so I don't want to get too deep into them. But I can say that on the retail side, we spent quite a few years kind of trying to get that mix right, and it's been a struggle and it's been an uphill climb. And I think our product development teams, our design teams, our sales team have done a great job of really carefully mining that retail business and giving Walmart something that's a little bit unique, and giving Target something that's a little bit unique, and Dollar Tree. And it's not the whole product, but it's a part of the product that you can only get somewhere. Like, we've had hobby exclusive stuff for decades, and the only place you can get a lot of our stuff is at the hobby level. And so I think there is a kind of a mix, and it's not a mad scientist mix. I think it's a well thought out, huge plan of what goes to retail, what goes to hobby, what kind of is a mix, what goes direct online. I think first off the line has been it's been a wild success for us, but it's not, as we've proven over the years, I guess a year and a half or 2 years, it's not our only method of business. I mean, we're never going to turn our backs on the hobby shops and the breaking community, because that's the lifeblood of our business. But I think we've also proven that there's enough to go around, kind of for everybody.
Well, for the record, I can say honestly and very candidly, I do not feel as though Panini or any of the manufacturers are turning their back on us. I know there's people out there who feel as though they are, but it's the times are a changing, and I believe people have to adapt to change and embrace it. And I get frustrated because some people refuse to embrace change and things that are happening in an industry, and they don't embrace that change, and then they'd rather just get upset and mad and angry. And guess what? That's not going to do one good thing for your business if you turn into that guy. So
I agree. And we've long loved the hobby and the hobby shops and the collectors, and I think we prove that year in and year out. Not just with our products and the improvements that we continue to make there, but with our Player of the Day programs in football and basketball, and our Father's Day and Black Friday, things that were made exclusively for hobby shops. And we'll continue to embrace those opportunities and embrace hobby shops in particular, and the hobby kind of more global in general.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So we just always watch retail. I mean, there's a lot of people. Maybe it's because the shops are closed. Our shops are closed. I have a couple local guys that may want to come by and get some stuff because they just itching for a break in a box. But most people are rushing to retail. There's no doubt, and they're clearing out the shelves, and so that's definitely a thing. But it's good for a company and a business as you guys to continue to extend your brand. Some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing I'll add, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Chris.
Yeah, that's fine.
One thing I'll add is that the collectible trading card market is in a way different place than maybe it's ever been. So it's been a fascinating viewing opportunity to see how the growth with the basketball market, the international market, the mainstream market that's kind of come back into the hobby in a way that maybe we've never seen. So
no, it's at an all-time super high as far as demand, the appetite from my end and my fellow breakers and fellow hobby shop. And I know you guys know this, but the appetite to consume these products is way off the charts high right now.
Yeah,
and that's a good thing. If you're a business owner and you're running a corporation, that's what you want. You're going to do the things that you can to maximize that without, cutting some people out of the game and trying to be.
Yeah, for sure. And I think one thing that I'm particularly proud of about Panini America is that we continue to try to create more value in our products. We don't rest on our laurels and just kind of shortchange the product or the end consumer. So I'm excited that we continue to push the envelope, even though we some other people might not. We continue to do that to try to bring the best value to the consumer.
Here's a question from our guy who you might know is Oz over there in Australia. He says, where does the Hall of Fame come into Panini licensing? It's separate from the NFLPA. Just seems to be key guys repeatedly used. Would love to see some sort of timeline style deal. So is there a difference between the Hall of Fame and the NFLPA? Do they work together, or is that an entirely separate entity you have to go through to produce cards?
Yeah, we're lucky in that we have an exclusive partnership with the Pro Football Hall of Fame as well as with the NFLPA and NFL. But it is a different licensing agreement, and the PA typically kind of handles or controls the current players, but they also have a lot of retired players as well that they run the approvals for.
Yeah.
So we've talked about doing kind of that timeline set of whatever it is, 600 Hall of Famers or whatever that number would be. And I think that's consistently being discussed by our football product development folks of how to do that. Obviously, 100 NFL 100 would have been a great opportunity to do that. We did some of that, like in products with the 100th anniversary tributes and all-time player, 100 greatest players. We did some of those things, but Oz has a good point. It's something that we talk about quite a bit in the office.
Good, thank you. One other one from Ernie. He's in Florida. He says, are there ever any talks about doing a product at a draft or an all-star Pro Bowl game, getting hats or jerseys, etc., and putting them into a box with carts? I know that the hats you use, I've seen it. I've seen the guys with the hats, and then 2 months later they're on the cards. Have you thought about taking bigger memorabilia pieces or doing anything, the actual worn things from Pro Bowls and games, or is that it costs a lot more? I'm sure.
No. We do quite a bit of that. One of Scott Prush's kind of playgrounds for a lot of his sets, the Father's Day, Black Friday, is the Pro Bowl and Super Bowl pylons and balls and jerseys as well. And then one of the coolest inserts I think we do is the limited football draft night signatures, where it's a booklet where the autograph was signed that night, the jersey piece on it was held that night, and there's a photo of those. So I really love that. I think we'll continue to do that.
That's the one where they're holding the jersey up with the commissioner on stage. Yeah, those are neat. Is there any thought about, this is Ernie's part 2 question, how about a breaker built or collector built product? Is there a way that you could maybe set up something where you gather up a few breakers, a couple collectors, and they can put some feedback in and come up with an idea for a product?
I think so. Yeah, I think some folks might be surprised at how much kind of feedback we get from the marketplace, from collectors and from breakers like yourself, Chris. We are lucky to be surrounded by some really opinionated, smart collecting people. And so if you ever see us or want to drop us a line, not you, Chris, obviously, you know how to get a hold of us, but anybody who sees us at shows or events and wants to talk shop and pass ideas, we love it. In fact, one of the things that your question, Ernie, brought up was way long ago in the very early stages of the Nice Lance, which is our blog that we started in late 2010. We did a kind of completely collector voted insert set in one of our hoops products, and we let them pick the theme, let them pick the photo, let them pick the name, let them pick the checklist, and it was kind of a series of polls that let people chime in and build the set. So I think there's more that we can do there, and it's a great point to bring up.
I just want to give you my idea. I've gone on record with this before, but one of my ideas would be a thing called real-time relics.
Okay.
And what it is the card, the player on the card, he's playing or whatever. That jersey is the actual jersey piece on the card. What would that take other than going to that game, okay, cutting the deal, getting that actual game-worn jersey, bringing it back, and call it real-time relics so that the jersey on the card is the one in the picture, not just putting the date on it or whatever and tracking it or saying it's from that game. But what if you had the picture and it was that actual jersey. What would be the
Yeah.
logistics of that, do you think?
I think on a wide scale, it would be logistically difficult to
Yeah.
do.
Do a
but I
small
will
little one.
say-
Look, pick 10 players and do it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because in the new Flawless Football, we were able to get the Tom Brady gray alternate jersey that he wore in '06, I believe,
snap.
'07 against the Texans. And we used, I don't know if we mentioned the game date on the card itself because I haven't seen the back, but I know we used an image of him from that game.
Yeah.
With
okay. See, that's a real-time relic then. You got the image of that
Yeah,
game with
of the
that
game.
jersey.
I love it.
That's
I
good.
love it. And I would love to see us do more of those things.
That's really cool. What else did I want to ask you? I wanted to I just had a general question for you, and it's probably not that fair, but if you had to choose one sport right now that you would like to see.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're right. I figured you were going to say that because I'm the same way. You know, we got to do football, man. You know, but
No,
basketball,
we're
we're in the playoffs. They could finish that out somehow. That would be nice.
Let me hear the rest of your question because I think I cut you off.
No, you were right. I was going to say, which one would you like to see that we want to see through and make sure that we have a full regular kind of season of, if you could make it happen?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm going to. Yeah, I mean, obviously, basketball probably can't happen in terms of a full 82 game, full playoff tournament season.
Yeah.
So I would say football. You know, I'm a football guy. I love football. I don't know if you know or not, Chris, but the Broncos got Jerry Jeudy in the draft. I'm just throwing that out there. But
man, that's big. That's big. I like him and CD Lamb, two top receivers, two very talented dudes.
But yeah, so I would say football, but I've been really, I've always loved basketball, but my love of the game and the players has really grown in my time with Panini America because you have a chance to really appreciate. I think a lot of times our bandwidth is spread so thin that we only kind of focus on our things, right? So I'm a Broncos guy, so I know all about the Broncos and their players and their history, but I've grown to love basketball in a really special way too.
Well, they got this guy named Zion who was on a roll. And you're still, how many, do you recall off the top of your head, not to put you on the spot, but how many would you say products were remaining in this current, release calendar for basketball? I mean, we're at National Treasures basically, right? So isn't that one of the tail enders, you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, NT is coming. We're doing Flawless, right? I mean,
Flawless comes after NT.
It's going to be there. Noir, obviously, we mentioned earlier, is going to be out.
Maybe Encased.
Encased, yes.
Encased with Zions.
Court Kings.
So we got about maybe 5, 6, 7 more basketball products of the year.
Spectra.
Yeah, Spectra basketball. Spectra, Noir. That's what I was thinking of, Spectra.
I mean, just in that short list that Mosaic Hobby, Noir, Court Kings, National Treasures, Spectra. Obsidian is another one.
Obsidian basketball. That's the first for that.
Yeah, so that's so there's still a lot left. And,
that's good.
Everything with the has just been thrown into this kind of tizzy with the pandemic. So I think we're all going through it together, which has been somewhat heartening for me that we're all kind of going through this together. Mm-hmm. And it sucks. But I choose to remain optimistic and look at the bright side and keep grinding and know that we'll get through it.
Do you have anything to add on any updates, any new news? Did you maybe perhaps raid the Panini prize closet? Anything that we can,
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. First of all, I let my boys. I've got a 19 and 16-year-old, and they got bored, and I let them give me a mohawk, and now I don't know what to do with it because it's growing out.
Nice. I may copy you on that.
Please do.
I think I'm going to copy it, just so you know.
I love it. Let your people do it. It's more fun for them.
Do you have any? What's going on with the redemption things? Because that's always a big. I know that may not be your exact department, as you're mostly the marketing guy in products and things. But it looks like we've seen your updates on the redemption websites and some new things that you're doing. Let's talk about that for a few minutes here.
We launched a new customer service platform a few weeks ago. And they're as with anything that's kind of this whole scale transition, there were some kinks that we worked out. We'll continue to work out kinks. One of the things that caused quite a stir was the apparent inability to enter expired redemption cards in the new platform, and that was an issue with the back end dating not being automated in the system. So when you put your expired redemption in the new system, it wouldn't recognize it, it wouldn't realize it. And so we've tweaked that because we've long been, as you know, we've long been the only, as far as I know, the only major manufacturer that even honors expired redemptions, and we'll continue to do that. If we have the card, we're gonna get that to the consumer, and if we don't, then our policy has been to give 50% market value in points, and so that's not new, and that's continuing. And I love our customer service team. I think any customer service team has a really tough job, and I think we try our level best to be good to people all the time, and it doesn't always happen. There's some disagreements sometimes, and some people have to wait too long. I get it. I'm a consumer myself, but I think our guys and gals in customer service, Joe White and David Shoup and Cody Krim, they do a great job of trying to make it right with it.
But they do, and I've seen them out at events and shows, and I sometimes, because I do what I do for a living, sometimes people think that I'm defending somebody just because of what I do, and that's not the truth, because the way I do things is if I don't agree with somebody or I don't like a product, you won't hear me talking about it, and you won't hear me coming to the defense of it. Yeah. But if I'm speaking up and being vocal about something, it's because I mean it. So I know what it's like, the burden that customer service departments have on their shoulders. I deal with it here. You can imagine the kind of emails we get about stuff all the time. So I understand what they're going through. I understand that the staff that they have is the staff that they have, and they're doing their best, and you can see changes with the new website and trying to make it easier for the consumers. Just sometimes people at home, they're frustrated, they're angry, and they take out their frustrations.
I get it completely, man. Look, I understand. I get frustrated as well, and so I'm not blaming anybody. I just know it's a tough gig, and we're going to continue to get better. I mean, that's the one thing about us, is we're going to continue to improve and be what we need to be for our consumers.
Good deal. One other question. Someone had a question. It's kind of, I think I know the answer to it, but someone's asking why Flawless and National Treasures are priced so high. Is it because of the material that's being used in the cards, the makeup of the card, or maybe, like you mentioned, I'm pretty sure a Tom Brady championship worn or playoff worn jersey is not going to be too cheap. So it drives the price up, and the quality. Is that what it is about mainly?
Well, it's the highest of the high end stuff. Yeah. And so you're going to get, in theory, you're going to get more valuable cards.
And print runs are lower.
It's a lower print run. The packaging is the next level. The design of the card aesthetically, the type of memorabilia and autograph content in those sets is next level. And so I think you'll see, and there's usually always this rise in kind of start off the season low end, and then it builds and it crescendos at the end, kind of like with the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, man, I love it. I remember, man, going back all the way, Tracy, just to a little anecdotal thing here. It was 2014. I just started Top Shelf Breaks in the basement, and I get a call from one of my distributors. Said, "Hey, do you want to set up at the National?" And I'm like, "Well, I can't say no." So I set up at the National, and I've only been on the air maybe 3 or 4 months, and here I am, smack dab in the middle, next to the Mount Rushmore guys of Rich and Dan and Doug and Mojo and all these guys, and here's a little Top Shelf. And I'm kind of panicking, freaking out. I got a little laptop with no power, no juice on it. But I'm going to try. I found you. I said, "Hey, man, you want to come on here with me and hang out and like do some stuff? I don't know, we'll wing." You're like, "Yeah, sure." You came back about an hour later and said, "Why don't you come down to our booth and do this?" And I said, "What?" So here I am, man, a couple months into doing breaking, and you're inviting me down to do that. I think that was 6 years ago or so. But I wanted to, I've always told you, I appreciate that. And then we were doing some breakdancing at the Panini party that night at Soldier Field, and you guys were giving away black boxes to people who were doing breakdancing randomly. Yeah. So you've always been your job is perfect fit for you, man. You're a great face for the company and the product and the brand, and extending that good faith to all the collectors. So I wanted to say thank you for that from me
Well,
personally.
no, I appreciate that, man, Chris. You're good people, man. As we like to say, game recognized game, right? So you've been great from the beginning. Your attitude, personality, and look, man, I'm not lying when I say it's folks like you and your people that kind of keep me employed, and I never want to lose sight of that, and always want to embrace those opportunities when I can.
It's a pleasure, man. Well, we have this. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we get into this box break?
You're breaking it. Is that hobby hybrid there?
Yeah, that's hybrid. I have a suggestion, by the way. For ADD breakers like myself, can you make one of these green and one of them blue? Because I opened up a freaking hobby instead of the hybrid the other night.
They look identical. I made that mistake, but I want to say, I know you have a thing where chatters win, right? And so
we do chatters win. Yes, look at you.
So here's what I'm going to do. I want to give a box of the regular hobby Prism draft picks to the chat room, and I want to give you another box to just give out to people that you want to give it out to.
Oh, that's great. So we'll do a chatters win right now. I have this program.
So
sweet. If they're subscribed to the channel, it's going to pick somebody. I'm going to hit enter here. That's great. It's a hobby box, the 5 auto one?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. Thanks, Tracy. So I ran it. The winner is JJ. His name's Joe Zhao. He yells at me because I mispronounced his name. Joe, good dude. He is a local TSBer. So, Joe, we know who you are. Hobby box from
Joe Zhao?
You know Joe Zhao?
Yeah,
there you go.
Yes.
Look at
awesome.
that. Joe Zhao wins the box of hobby from Tracy Hackler's prize closet and Panini, and then he's going to give me another one, and I'll find a way to do something with that. I'll put it on the website. I'll build it into a break. I'll do a bonus. I'll give teams away or something. We'll figure that one out. So thank you for that.
Cool.
I'm going to switch over to the main screen. I'm going to bring you up here on the bottom.
Nice, man. It's almost like I'm there, bro.
Yeah. So you see the main thing, right?
Yeah.
The main table.
Like it. Yeah, this is cool.
All right, so let me just turn this music down here. I don't even know what it's playing. It's playing Thriller. You can't hear my music.
Oh, I wish I could hear it. Thriller is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah, we love Michael. Did you ever go see the Michael Jackson?
I did.
It's called MJ Live.
Yes, in Vegas.
Yes, the Vegas one. It came here to Chicago, but it's the same show.
Yeah, I did. I loved it. I went by myself, dude.
You did?
Yeah.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm not complaining.
All right, so this should bring you in, hopefully, here. There he is.
Oh, what's up?
Boom. All right, so I ran the list. Let me show the list. Oh, it's over here. Watch this. So here's the list from tonight. Here's the code. I got to put these names in here. This will show who gets what.
Is it 10 guys, or what are you doing?
Yeah, so what I do is we came up with this a while ago. It's triple team tiered. So there's 30 spots because we do 2 combo teams. And what it does is it gives everybody in the top, if you're getting 3 teams total, but see the top 10 teams? Those are the top drafted teams, the Bengals, the Broncos, the Dolphins. So,
got it.
So each spot people buy, they're guaranteed at least one of those teams. And then they get 3 total. If you just do 3 random teams, you might get, some of the lower tier teams that don't have any rookies or autos in them. So this way guarantees that. So I ran that earlier so we don't have to run the randomizer.
Okay.
See what we got here. Now, this I look for this 1 now because I did open up a 5 bad boy the other night.
You were like, what?
And we got gold out of it.
Because usually our boxes are distinctly different, and that one is really, really
yeah.
The hobby version.
We pulled a gold out of it. It was a new guy. I said, I ain't worried about it. It was my mistake. This, happens once every 5 years. We'll let it go. But now I just look for the 1, and we're good. So these golds in here are hot, man. I love the gold ice. They're numbered to 7.
Yeah, those are nice, man. Have you been pulling quite a few of them? Have you pulled some?
Last night we pulled the 1 of 1 black ice of not Justin Herbert, the other quarterback kid. Not Joe Burrow. No, it was Jake Fromm. 1 of 1.
Oh, nice.
Black ice. We pulled a Joe Burrow last night, actually, autographed to 99 out of here. And I think if I had to average, I would say I feel like there's 2 golds in every box, and definitely getting 2 autos, Tracy. Can you speak to that? Why this seems what we call stacked, okay? There's the night I opened this, in true TSB fashion, literally, I'm on the air till late. I'm on the air till 1, 2. We opened this release night when I first got it, and I was texting my guys at 1 a.m. that I want to buy more of it. My dealers, those guys. And so they wake up in the morning. I made deals with them in the morning on a Sunday morning. And then they're like Monday and Tuesday, they're like, dude, this stuff has gone through the roof. It's because it's stacked with 2 autos. How does that happen? Do you do that on purpose with this stuff, or smaller print run? It's more concentrated, or what?
I think in theory it's not done on purpose, but I think it does happen.
Yeah.
Oh, Chase Young, that's a good one.
Chase Young, Draft Picks Prism, Carolina Blue autos. What the heck is Carolina Blue? That sounds 90.
He's number 2 overall pick, man.
That's
Redskin.
Yeah, he has a skin. So, when this happens, there was a National Treasures college product. It was a year or 2 ago. And, man, it was like every box was just...
Yeah, it was loaded up.
It was loaded up and chock full of the monster players and low numbers. So, it does happen. It
does. And I think there's CD, a little silver CD.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it could happen with if the print run is somehow at the last minute lower, or we have extra hits. I think.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, a little Patrick Mahomes there. Oh, we got an orange one.
Julio.
Nice. Oh, another
Grant Silver.
SEC guy. Trevon Diggs. What is that? Is that 10 packs? Is that what that is?
These are 12, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 12 packs.
Yeah, and I did notice because I think I opened, or I saw somebody at work open one of those, and they got 2 autos as well. And I'm like,
yeah.
Wait, I thought it was supposed to be 1.
I would say it is only supposed to be 1, but it's I would say on average in a I think one of them's a 20, but this is a 20 box case. I would say 15 of the boxes will have 2 autos.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love when you do that.
I scooped all this stuff up the night I opened it. And then since I already made the deal, they can't go back on the deal, right? Because I made the deal in the morning.
Right.
And they're like, say, we made the deal, man. You can't go back on it now, man. Send me my freaking hybrid. They're like, daggone you, Chris. Every time you request something, I know what's going to happen. I should tell you, no, I don't have it, and then sell it for more.
It's going to be hot. Oh, Henry Ruggs.
HR3.
First receiver taken.
Oh, he was?
Yep.
He might have been the guy that had his Panini stuff in the background. I think that was him.
Yeah, he was the first guy we went Twitter Live with that night.
That's great.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, we did I did draft night here live. I had it here on my TV. And we had people in chat, and I could do Chatters Win. That person who won Chatters Win could pick who the next what the next player picked would be.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, it's fun, dude. It was a really fun night, man. It really was. It was unlike any draft that any of us have ever seen, but it was a success, I think.
Did you happen to see the video of Cole Kmet, the Bears kid who got drafted? It's pretty cool. I know you would appreciate it. He grew up here in Chicagoland. So,
okay.
So, you grow up in this town. You probably went to a dozen Bears games. You followed the Bears. Yeah. And then you hear your name called on draft night that you're going to be a Chicago Bear.
Bears.
It's just really neat and special. His family was freaking out and crying, and it just was a really cool video.
I love it. That's great.
What do you think of this guy this coming season? Gardner Minshew, is the job his?
Yeah, I think it has to be. I mean, I think Nick Foles got out of Dodge. Speaking of Chicago, he went to the Bears, so I think it's his job to. There's AJ Brown. It's his job, man.
Yeah, but what about Andy Dalton might show up?
He might have in the room too. Andy Dalton's a great dude, man.
Hey, is that Kevin's team or no? Yeah, the Horn Frogs.
Kevin's team, man.
He loves them Horn Frogs.
The TCU Horn Frogs. Jalen Reagor was another guy's party that we were at, draft event that we were at. Matt Ryan. I love the design, man. The design, like when you get those prism parallels with this design, it just pops off there, man.
It does. Shiny things are in, by the way. I have chunky and shiny, and it seems as though shiny is where it's at lately.
Yeah, it is. I mean, And our design team does a phenomenal job of making it fresh every time, like with the designs and the etching. It's just they do such a good job. There's Lamar.
I think that they should, see, there's two schools to this. There's some schools that say, no, Prism is Prism, Contenders is Contenders, so-and-so, so-and-so, so don't mess with it, don't change it. I think you have to, every year, change up something a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
You just, you got to change up a little. I think Contenders could use a spruce up, and they did with Contenders Optic, which is basically shiny Contenders.
Yes.
So, but
that Optichrome technology is so hot. I mean, it's just so conducive to little pieces of art in your hand, and I love it. I love what we've done with the zebras and the tigers and the red eyes, and I'm always little Joey B. I'm always curious to see what we're going to do next, man.
Zebras and tigers. Do you have any other plans for any other animals?
Hey, I can tell you this. That Scott, because I'm a big fan of animal pelts.
Okay.
So Scott and I had a brainstorm one day. We have a lot of brainstorms. We have a lot of conversations we can't repeat too, but we have a lot of productive brainstorms. And we ended up coming to an agreement that there might be giraffe patterns and Dalmatian patterns, and
okay.
And I saw some of the mock-ups, and they are incredible, dude.
Wow. Here comes. Oh no, it's backwards. And we better get an auto out of here, or I quit.
I know. I'm gonna. If you don't get an auto, I'm gonna throw in another hobby box.
I mean, come on.
If you don't, I'm throwing another one.
Not one. We got 2 packs left, Tracy.
If we don't get an auto, I'm gonna throw in a third hobby box.
I have never, ever, not opened these and not get an auto ever. In fact, we get 2. Maybe they're right here.
Yep, absolutely. You get 10 redemption. Hopefully, that's a quick redeem. Oh.
Come on, dude. This is it.
No pressure.
This got to be our Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so great. Chase Young and Joe Burrow on the same.
Are you kidding me, Tracy Hackler?
Got one? You only got one?
What? Did we get?
Well, you got the Chase Young redemption.
Oh, there it is. See, I EDD breaker. We did get one. I'm thinking we didn't freaking get one.
We're gonna give a second box to. So 3 boxes total of hobby to you guys.
Okay. Man, I was like thinking this is not gonna be cool. We got to get one. We got the Chase Young. Short-term memory. We got the Chase Young.
We're getting old, Chris.
Yes, I am old. So that goes to the Redskins, right? Chase Young? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Also, he's also from the area, from the D.C. and Baltimore. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Chase Young. So that goes to a guy named Monty. Monty S. Congrats there, dude. That's a good card.
Yes.
Last night, I just want to tell you, I did a thing called Flawmaculate Treasures, which is flawless, immaculate, and national treasures. 3-box break.
Okay.
We did a triple teamer like this one. And we had, so the first box we opened up was the Immaculate, and it's all packed up, ready to ship, so I can't show them, but it was Kyler Murray, right?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, patch auto, and then we get to the National Treasures, and we pull a Kyler Murray autographed patch out of that, and then I'm like, we're going to get the freaking trifecta. So we opened up the Flawless at the end and pulled a Kyler out of that. So we had 3 Kylers.
Wow.
In 3 boxes. It was.
Did the same person win all 3 of those?
He did, because he had the Cardinals in the break.
Wow.
I'm going to show it to you here. I took a screenshot of it.
That is incredible. I think I saw your tweet. I think we liked it probably.
There they are right there.
Wow.
3-box break. Kyler.
Dude, that's crazy.
How awesome is that?
Dude.
I know. He was very excited. We call him customer for life.
I was going to say, he could be a customer for life for sure.
And then here's the 101 that we pulled at the end of the night. This was the 101 Jake Fromm. Yeah.
Very nice.
Those black ices are sweet too, man.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome.
Those black ice. So Joe J won the hobby box. You're going to send another one from the prize closet. I appreciate that very much.
I'm going to send you 3 total.
Yeah, 3 total. One for Joe, and then we'll do the other 2. Probably a social media thing I'll do, or the email list or something creative to. If you haven't noticed.
Whatever you want to do, brother.
If you haven't noticed, I like to try to maximize stuff like that every time I get it and get maximum exposure for those that have, donated it. So you can
sure.
rest assured for that.
Oh yeah.
I am going to at 8 o'clock on Go GTS, which I'm sure you're familiar with Ivan and Rob. Ivan is shaving his head tonight live at 8 o'clock.
Cannot wait.
I know. I'm going to jump over onto their show.
Just getting his head shaved.
He's going to, I thought he was going to shave it, kind of like your sides are.
Yeah.
He's shaving it with the razor, dude.
Oh.
He's Telly Savalas in it.
That's going to be epic.
Yeah. We raised $1,500 in a week, so I'm very excited about that. It was
That's
good.
awesome, dude. That is awesome.
Do you have anything else to add, Tracy? Because I think we've covered everything that I wanted to cover and talk about, man.
No, man, I appreciate the opportunity and really thank you and your audience for the support and for the passion, and just God willing, we're going to get through this sooner, hopefully rather than later, and we're going to keep moving and get back to full strength, and the glass is always half full, my friend.
We're good. Well, I appreciate it. Well, thanks for your time. I'm sure we'll do this again sometime down the road.
Yeah, look forward to it, Chris. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks on a personal note. Thanks for all the support you guys have shown to me and TSB and my vision and my goals. On behalf of me and the rest of the TSB crew, thanks, Tracy. Good night.
Good night, brother. Thank you.
Cool. Turn that down. Let me get that out. That was cool. Where's my chat at? Cool, good stuff. That was great. So here's what I have to do. I have to go over to somehow